We're gonna try this again. Put you right there on the Popeyes extra large cup. Let me get my squat. That's my exercise for the day. Welcome to Formula 425. I'm Mike. We'll probably know each other pretty well by the end of this because if not, I haven't made enough videos. Anyway, here's what we do, here's what we're about. I don't have a lot of money. I have a lot of things I like to do. I have a little tiny workspace. I know this is bigger than some people's workspaces, and I should be thankful, and I am, but it's not big. The car will fit in here with like this much room on either side. I've ran into a lot of stuff trying to put it in here. And boy howdy is that a challenge, but no big deal. So, what's the thing I'm going to introduce to you today? It's the project we're going to be working on. It's a 1979 Pontiac Firebird. Give a brief intro to the vehicle. I've always kind of liked the second gen F bodies, Firebirds and Camaros. Really like the later 70s ones, the Z28s, Trans Ams, Formulas, anything with all the spoilers, hood vents, shakers, all that sort of stuff. That stuff's really cool to me. I really like it. That's what I'm all about. Yeah, they suck performance-wise, but they're universally appreciated. You can get a lot of parts, you can get a lot of things, we can make a lot of stuff happen. People know the bolts on the car. That makes it more valuable, better base to work with. Whoop, getting up. That Pontiac had a 1979 Pontiac 301 V8 in it. Pontiac's last V8 to be produced before the Pontiac V8 was basically ended. And they were terrible. They weren't really awesome. Some people might like the fact that, you know, if you got one with a 4-speed, it was somewhat fuel efficient and all that sort of stuff. Kind of nice, but in reality, they were little rock box engines that didn't make a lot of power and weren't anything particularly great. They looked like a Pontiac engine, but every single thing is just enough different, barely changed to where you can't use any high-performance Pontiac parts. Just nothing will work, and therefore they're just terrible. They're like fake Pontiac engines. That's all. So I had to change that. I wanted to run and drive this car and have it be a nice cruiser. I have a different car that, if you're lucky, we'll get to talk about later. But for right now, this is my nice cruiser. We got to work on it. We got a lot of stuff to do. Got to get running and driving. How are we going to do that, right? Well, you're thinking, it's essentially a Camaro. Just put a small block Chevy in it. And I bought a small block Chevy. I did, with a turbo 350 trans and all that stuff. Will go right in that car. But then I basically convinced myself I don't like the small block Chevy that much. Maybe it's because they're incredibly popular. Maybe it's because it seemed like the easy choice. Something like that. I somehow have convinced myself that I don't like it because it doesn't have a cast timing cover. Pretty sure that's because Fords do, and I like Ford engines, but can't beat Chevys. Literally, you can't. Try. It's hard. So that brings us to this puppy. I'm going to set you back down again because this angle's really good, but I don't like squatting. Squatting is like my exercise for the day. I'm going to make this 2 squats. Perfect. This is a 1977 Cadillac 425 cubic inch engine, roughly a 7-liter. A lot of people like to call them big blocks because those 2 words make you feel better about everything. Because everyone wants a big block Chevy or a big block Mopar or a big block Ford because they make a lot of power and they're really cool, and in the muscle car area, big blocks were the thing. Cadillac never made a small block, and neither did Pontiac. So if anyone ever tells you, or actually even Oldsmobile, so if anyone ever tells you they have a big block Olds, a big block Pontiac, or a big block Cadillac, they're just saying that because it has large cubic inches. That has no other bearing on that phrase, because these Cadillac engines never got any smaller. There was never a small block Cadillac. You got big block Cadillac. And I forget what the actual engine designation series is. I want to say it's a 365, 363, something like that. I'm probably wrong. Don't quote me on that one. But anyway, that's what all of these Cadillac engines are based off of. And that's really nice because your mainline, super popular Cadillac engines, the 472 and the whopping 500, are all based on the same platform as this engine, which means all the parts you can get for any of those engines will go right onto this, unlike that terrible Pontiac back there, which is why we're totally changing it out. Moving on. Why did I pick this engine? Because we like a budget here. That motor, running, revving, works, really dirty, pretty much all original, $75. Not $750. $75 American, about $80 Canada. Probably a little less. And that's why I like it. Is because say everything goes horribly wrong, rods knock, something terrible. We're in at $75 and genuinely we're in at like $4,000 in making it fit the car, buying the fabrication equipment, stuff like that. Yeah, as you grow up, you quickly realize that the nickel and dime stuff that you're like, oh, it's only $5. You do that like 800 million times and you'll get your dirt cheap engine in your dirt cheap car for the cost it would have taken you to buy a nice version of that car. Life. Anyway, we're going to stuff that 1977 Cadillac DeVille 425 cubic inch Cadillac engine in my 1979 Pontiac Firebird that's outside and it's mostly taken apart. To tell you how taken apart it is, that's the bumper support and the fash bar. It weighs like 65, 70 pounds. It's really heavy. This is our core support next to our hood with the Screaming Chicken. And you have to take all that off because it's really easy to. And nobody tells you that you can't possibly get the engine hoist far enough past the nose to even touch the engine without doing it. Maybe if you had a gantry crane, like one of those big A-frame uprights with a gantry, that would be cool. But I've thought about buying them, they don't fit in this garage. Sucks to be me. But anyway, that's what we're going to try and do, is get that in there and work on it. And there's some surprises along the way, and there's a lot of work that's going to have to be done, and there's tons of ways to be able to do what we're going to do, and we're going to do it the me way, because that's what I like, and that's what I'm going to do, and you're always going to have to compromise somewhere, so you might as well do the stuff that you think is easiest, right? But we'll go into more in depth about the situation, what we have to work with on the car, what's on the car. There's some nice things on the car. There's some stuff that isn't that nice. And just remember to take every negative, bad situation as an opportunity for growth. Was the wiring trash? Well, now it's an opportunity to redo the wiring. Is the transmission garbage? Perfect time to see if you can either rebuild it or get a better one. Did the rear seat floor pan rip straight out when you took the back seat out looking for the build sheet? Yup. Never a bad time to learn how to weld in some floor pans. Anyway, thank you for stopping on by. Welcome to the channel. God, I hate that I've been watching YouTube for so many years, just like everybody else on earth. For these phrases are like, to me, because it's like, oh yeah, same as everybody else. Ugh. Yeah, so like, comment, subscribe. I don't care if you do. I don't ever intend to read any of that stuff because most internet comments are terrible garbage. And why would I take your advice? I don't know you. I'm just me. No, it's fine. Do whatever you want. Have fun. It's the internet. That's why I'm doing it. That's why you're here. 3, 2, 1. Kick it. Let's jam. And hopefully, in a couple of videos, a couple of months, we'll have a Firebird that can go around the block. And it will absolutely be a tire-smoking show. Let's kick it. Out.